Daily life is a workout, and the UVM trainers want to make sure you can do it all safely. We're talking body mechanics and safe movement today on Across the Fence. Hello, Vermont. Ready for your Friday workout? We're back today with Izzy Harris and Anya Bizyaková. Izzy is an undergrad studying exercise science, and Anya is working on her PhD in occupational therapy. Okay, so ladies, today we're not so much doing exercises as thinking about how we move and use our bodies around the house, like every day. You can correct anything that you just saw, for example, in my opening video, but that was something, that's, the way that we have to take things out of cabinets, the way that we push things overhead. And we're essentially doing exercise movements. We just don't necessarily think about them. Is that right?
Exactly. In the gym or any place where you exercise, we're doing so many movements that seems like they not related to our everyday activities, right?
Yeah, like I think a bicep curl and I'm like, that's just exercise, right?
Exactly, but all of the movements that we do in life, they resemble to the exercises that we do. We have 6 main movements. It's squat, hinge, push, pull, rotation, and single leg movements.
Like in general, like these are just 6 things we do with our bodies all day, every day, and they're just 6 things?
And same for the exercise. So, for example, with our lower body, when we're working on this, on picking something up from the floor, we either can squat or hinge.
Okay.
Yes.
So so basically what we're going to do today, we have just a couple of things. We're not really doing a workout routine in the same way, although this will be really complementary with some of our workout routines. So actually, folks at home, because I said there's no set exercises, we are still going to demonstrate each of these movements nice and slow so you can really think about the body mechanics involved. And to get the full benefit of this episode, you can start and stop it as many times as you want by rewatching it on our YouTube channel. The address is right there on the screen. You can also rewatch past episodes where we've done actual workouts focusing on many of the moves you're going to see again today. Kind of help bring all the pieces of the puzzle together, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yes. All right. So, and though we're going to
start with the
kind of one object.
Yep.
All right.
So in our daily life, let's say we have a bag. How can we pick it up? Can you please demonstrate us? How would you pick it up?
Ooh, this feels like a test I'm bound to fail. If I was going to pick it up off the floor, I'd probably do that.
Excellent. Yeah? Actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty okay. All right. Okay.
So, but let's imagine that this is a little bit heavier object, right?
Yeah.
Where we cannot pull with our arms.
It's the package maybe that has arrived on the front porch.
Exactly. So the one that you need to grab. We have 2 movements that we engage into when we picking something up from the floor. It's a squat or deadlift.
Okay.
Squat also is for sitting down, getting up from the chair.
Okay.
Let's say you're picking up something from the floor with the squat movement.
Okay.
Squat is mostly a knee dominant movement where we're squatting down with driving hips down, chest open, arms hanging down, just like you are trying to pick this item up from the floor. Now here, you're going to push through your glutes into your heels and pick up that item with your back straight, chest open.
Okay.
Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Bring it down. Push your knees a little bit more out and step a little bit out more.
Okay.
Nice. Now you have really
Widen
nice support. The big muscles and big joints are moving. Pick up that weight and push through your legs.
So the idea being, don't use my back, use my leg muscles. Is that what I'm trying to do? So
Exactly.
So in order to reduce the chance for injury, because if I just go over here and I'm like, something, I'm too quick, etc. If I'm not thinking about where I'm taking all that weight, then I don't want it in my back. I want it in my legs. So heavy object, approaching it.
Yes.
I'm actually doing a squat as if I was at the gym, except for I'm loading my.
And I'm actually going to correct you here too.
Go right ahead.
So you see the weight is really far from you.
Yeah.
This gives that more tension to the lower back. So you want to get to that object as close as you can. So it's somewhere around your feet. Okay. Nice. And here you're going to squat and pick it up. Nice.
Yeah, that is something I think I'm definitely guilty of. I tend to do a lot of this.
No reaching.
No reaching. All right.
Another movement is hinge or hip dominant movement.
Okay.
This is something where we are bending down, picking up the weight, and using our glutes, hamstring, and the back muscles. So here we're not that much using our knees, but we are using back of our body. So we're going to start with a really nice stable position. You're going to bring hips back, like you're leaning down with your chest.
Okay.
Slight bend.
Bend your knees. Yes.
Okay.
Now the object has to be really close to you.
Really close.
Yes,
Okay.
good.
So.
And now through the back of your legs, you're going to pull it up. Nice. And back down.
Nice and safe. Okay.
Good.
And as you can see, the movement is really close to our exercises that we've been doing before.
It is true. When you do it like this and you make yourself think about it, then you realize this could be a dumbbell. It could be anything heavy. I mean, it's like we do lift heavy things all day long. I was thinking about that. So in my kitchen, I have kitchen cabinets, low kitchen cabinets. Probably everybody has to say, and getting down and getting into those low kitchen cabinets, sometimes I think that might be a place where I could use
your squatting form is actually really good. So your lower back is supported and your hips are driving
One thing I'm doing correctly. All right, that's good.
Yes.
Okay, all right, now what?
Yes, so another one of the 6 is a pull. So we pull things all the time. Let's say it's your door handle or a big cabinet. And sometimes carelessly we just reach and we pull and using small muscles, and you could like tweak your back or a muscle in your shoulder. So it's important to just approach it and use your bigger muscles in order to pull so you're not straining or spraining anything else.
Okay.
On that note, another, yes.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking about is throughout the winter, we have doors that have that suction when you kind of get in and out of doors.
You really just want to get it open.
Yeah, and I'm pulling like this, and sometimes they get really heavy. Okay, so that's an example.
So use
of
your
pull.
core. We've talked about core and how important that is. Another one is pushing. So let's say, I don't know, you're pushing the stroller or pushing something else.
Okay.
If you want
pushing a wheelbarrow, we're going to be soon enough. We're going to be out in the gardens again. We're nearly there. Okay.
A little tip is to widen your base of support. What that means is we're usually just standing straight here, but our base of support is pretty narrow. If you put one foot back, now you have more of leverage to push forwards and use, again, your big muscles in order to do that.
Okay. All right, so how are we going to do this? Are we just going to just practice it?
Yep, just practicing.
Okay.
Think about something that you would push and
So first I'm thinking about a door, and so the idea then is also just that when I am pulling something, would you say, like, what am I not supposed to do? Not flinging?
Yes, not flinging or jerking. You're thinking about the big muscles, so in your arm would be your biceps and your shoulders, and then thinking about your core and using body mechanics to move that as well.
Okay. So
and another thing to add to that is if you're bringing your arms outside of your base of support, you have a little less stability and a little less power that you can put into the movement. So for example, if you're pushing away from your chest, this is much more power compared to if you're pushing somewhere in a different direction. So when we engaged in this movements, pull and push in our daily life, think of the most efficient way to apply the strength that you have. So pushing away from your body, pushing from the center of your body.
Okay. Does that also mean that the idea is to get as close to the object that you're pushing or pulling? So I mean, like overhead type things, right? That's tricky. And actually, maybe we're going to talk about something different, because that's a different movement. That's maybe that's the overhead press. Is that what that is?
Yeah, the overhead press.
Okay.
Not necessarily. It's just where you feel the most stable and where you can apply the most force in a spot where you feel safe.
But for things like, again, pushing an object away from you, is the idea too that you want to try to get, center yourself closer to what you're pushing or pulling away?
Not necessarily.
No, it's okay?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
As long
so
as
I don't have
you
to actually get like this when I'm
No.
Okay, all right.
Unless the object is really heavy.
Okay.
So the point here is that we want to use those muscles that are engaged in the push, that are made in our body for the push and for the pull, which are all the muscles that are around your shoulders. So, for example, sometimes people pushing from the forearm,
just wrist and hand.
Which is the weakest joints and muscles.
So think about the big muscles. Okay, so let's talk about that overhead press.
Yeah. So how many times have you been on a plane and you're trying to put your overhead, your carry-on in the overhead compartment, and it hurts? It's heavy.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that's another big overhead movement that you wouldn't really think that's an important, but then you get into that situation, it's like, okay.
All right. So how do we do that one? How do we keep this one safe?
So
what am I using?
When we have object above our head, and your feet are really close to each other, we don't have that much stability there.
Okay,
so if you're going to, let's recreate luggage at the plane. So here right now we have more stability, And if you're leaning back just a little bit, we're still pushing from that center of the torso, right? Versus pushing above your head, right?
Right,
We're
yeah,
stepping-
like this where
exactly.
you're sort
You
of
see?
off
Yeah.
balance.
The weight is,
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, and the weight
so
is
stepping
not centered.
back, leaning back,
And now you
and
have
pushing
more.
that weight from your body up versus pushing it like that
Okay.
somewhere where we don't have support.
Okay. Okay, that's a good one. We only
Yep.
have about 3 minutes. So what
Yes.
else are we? That's a very, very important one for us. But
Another one is rotation. So
Okay.
in the winter, we are shoveling snow a lot, and we're using these muscles, and it's easy to just let yourself shovel, and then you're like, oh, my back really hurts the next day.
gardening
So,
though too. Yes.
Yep, gardening
Carrying
as
the
well.
bag from side to side.
Yes. So it's important to use and move with the movement and engage those core muscles, the big muscles.
So again, so it's all thinking about the muscles that are being used, and here we're thinking then about these core muscles.
Your trunk,
Exactly.
yes,
Okay,
for
so-
rotation.
So when we're doing rotation, to be thinking about doing it from here. What if I'm not doing it correctly? Where am I gonna? Is it gonna be my back? Is that where I'm gonna feel it?
Usually.
Most likely, this is going to be just unstable movement, and you're just going to feel it everywhere. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So, how do we go about bringing this kind of like mindfulness into our everyday lives while we're doing these types of motions?
So as we just covered these movements, squat, deadlift, push, pull, and rotation, think of it when you exercise.
Okay.
Bring more muscle, more awareness to those muscles that are engaged. And when you are in your daily life completing or engaging in these movements,
So basically, we're always exercising.
we always exercising, yes. And
We're
the
always
exercise,
exercising. We're always wanting to be safe. So let's go ahead. We've been working our bodies, so now we're going to really use and engage those exercises. Excellent. So quick reminder about our YouTube channel where you can rewatch this episode and all of our episodes and turn all this great information into a workout routine. Also, don't forget, you can learn more about setting and achieving your workout goals on the UVM Campus Rec website. Thanks to UVM Campus Rec, we're bringing you these shows the first Friday of every month, helping you stay strong and healthy and meet your exercise goals. I love knowing that then next time around, it'll be June. We should definitely be making the most of the sunshine by then. But Izzy, you'll be on the road. Do you want to tell us about where you're going?
Yeah, so after graduation, I am moving to South Carolina to get my master's in athletic training at USC.
That's
so
amazing.
I'm excited.
We are incredibly proud of you. This is almost like your across the fence graduation.
know.
So I would say on behalf of all of us who have been working out with you for these past few months doing these, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank you, Anya. And as always, Vermont, thank you for learning and exploring with me today, and thanks to the team that makes Across the Fence possible. I'm Amy Finley. This is Across the Fence. Come back and let's learn and explore again tomorrow.